Hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Gen 7, let's go. There's 88 total, I think.
I trust your math more than I trust my own.
Oh, there's around 90, give or take 10.
Okay. Well, starting off, we have Rowlet, which I gave S to, and I stand by that. Rowlet is a spherical ball of adorableness, and probably my favorite grass starter in the game for the first evolution.
What? I agree. I said I'm gonna try to go another gen without S. So I said A plus plus plus. To your point, I definitely picked this one when I got Moon originally. Don't know that I let it evolve. Minor spoiler alert for the next few. But yeah, overall I like it. Grass flying. Is there a grass flying prior to this guy?
Yes. At the very least, Tropius was grass flying.
I definitely know what that is.
It is the banana dinosaur.
It can fly?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. I'll take your word for it.
Trying to figure out how to arrange this. I think I'm just gonna have to click back and forth between windows. Oh well.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Did you say your rating?
Yeah, A plus 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 only because we are not, at least I'm not giving out any S tiers this gen either.
Um, Next we have Dartrix, which looks terrible. It's definitely middle evolution syndrome. I gave it a C. I think it looks very stupid.
I agree with C. I don't think I let my Rowlet evolve, which I know you're not supposed to do that. Maybe that's why I lost a bunch of battles. But it looks dumb. It looks like it's wearing a sweater vest. Like the hair is just pretentious guy in the library who incorrectly corrects everything we say. I'll even go as low as C minus.
Yeah. Then we have Decidueye, who I gave an A plus to. I I like it except for the drawstrings on its hood. I think that's kind of silly. But I like the way that its wings form kind of a cloak with the hood over its face, and I like that it shoots arrow feathers from its wing.
Oh, you're a lot nicer than I was because I never let my Rowlet evolve. I'm gonna say C. And just like looking at this guy, it's like we went from pretentious library college student to overly enthusiastic LARPer, which is less bad. So I'll go C plus.
Um, Litten, I gave it a B. Props for it not being firefighting type. Uh, it's cute, but nothing special to me, so it's a B.
Apparently, I said D, which I guess I will stand by because the this one is collateral damage from its final evolution. So
I'm looking at your list, and D seems to be the most common rating.
I think I'm just bitter because, and we'll get to it, but like I'm just bitter because I'm pretty sure Sun and Moon is the first time I ever legitimately lost a Pokemon battle against an NPC. Um,
Oh,
and so I'm a little bit bitter about that. But I give I will say in my defense, like given all three starters, I like this one the least, like legitimately.
um, Torracat, I it looks It looks like they had the first evolution in mind and then had the third evolution in mind, and they had no idea what to do in the middle, so they just made a bigger first evolution that's less cute. So it's just a C for me. It's not a very good design, I think.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. This picture, well, yeah, just I'm gonna stick with D. Still collateral damage, but also genuinely middle evolution syndrome. D.
Honestly, before today, looking at this picture, if you had shown me this picture like 2 hours ago and said, and hadn't like just the picture and didn't tell me what Pokemon it was, I would have thought, oh, that's like a fan art of Litten. Like, this Pokemon is
Oh,
so forgettable.
brutal.
Then we have Incineroar, and I will give them props. They did not make him firefighting, but I think they intended him to be firefighting originally, and they switched it to dark because people were so tired of firefighting types. Because he's very obviously a wrestler, and I get the heal aesthetic, but he just looks like a wrestler. He's a Catboy wrestler, and I'm actually gonna bump him down. I gave him a C originally. I'm gonna bump him down to D because I'm just not a fan of Catboy wrestler.
Yeah, I did not know that it was not firefighting until just now. Um, because this guy is in Smash too, right? And it's
Yeah.
what am I trying to say? It's very like it's is he's a wrestler, like you said, and
Hmm.
the stage that they added when they added Incineroar is a wrestling ring, right?
Yeah, and his signature move, Burning Lariat, is a hyper fantasy version of a wrestling move, I believe. Like he is a wrestler, and that's I dislike fighting type a lot for a lot of things, and the biggest thing is I'm just not a fan of wrestlers or wrestling, and I find it very boring. So when a Pokemon is just a wrestler but a Pokemon, it's like that's the least interesting thing you could have done with him.
Yeah. I'm pretty neutral about wrestling. Like I don't a couple of my friends are super into it, but I like personally, like you said, never really got into it. Um Again, I thought this was firefighting, so D, and adding a wrestling ring to Smash Brothers and this character, D.
Poplio, oh yeah, I gave a C to this one. Everyone is was all fawning over it. It's like it's so cute. It's the cutest one. I'm like, it's cute, but it's not the kind of cute that I like very much.
People were saying this is cuter than Rowlet. I'm gonna riot. What did I say? D's kind of harsh. I'll say C minus. Yeah, C minus.
Brione, I gave it a C. I'm switching to a D. That is up there with Torracat as being a very clumsy and bland middle evolution. It again, it looks like they knew what they wanted to do with the first one, they knew what they wanted to do with the third one, and then they just kind of made a bigger and less cute first one.
Wait, you said you added to a D?
Yeah, I changed. I originally gave it a C, but I've changed it to a D. I just don't like this evolution.
It's very oh, what are the Legos called that are specifically bigger and meant for younger kids?
Mega Blocks? No, that's just off-brand Legos.
Yeah, there's a name for them. Oh shoot. Okay. big Legos for little kids.
I had a bucket of those, and we always just called them big Legos.
It's a specific word for them. Dang it, I'm so blanking. But anyway, it's I feel like this is like Pokemon for small children. It looks like a baby toy.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm gonna stick with my original rating of D.
Primarina, you give it a C. It's not as bland and boring, but there's also not anything that I like about it either. I don't dislike anything, but I also don't really like anything. This is I would literally never pick this Pokemon as my starter.
Say D. Yeah, I'm not impressed. It's a mermaid. The colors are the mermaid colors that all the mermaid and unicorn snacks that you get in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally that. So D. Lego Duplo.
Ah.
I kept wanting to say Diplo, but I was like, I know that's not right.
um. Pick a peck. Same thing. It's boring. It's a C. It's a bird with a beak, a sharp beak, and that's about it. It's definitely not Pidgey 7.0.
D, which I feel like is a little harsh. We said C for take it or leave it, right? I'm gonna go
Yeah.
C minus. Leaning towards leave it, but I don't actively dislike it.
Trumbeak, I'm actually going to switch to a C minus because I think it looks kind of stupid. It I get that they're going for it. It's kind of like dressed like a waiter or something, but it just kind of looks stupid.
Really? I was thinking it has a vibes of that, and this is how out of touch, uncool, uneducated I am, but that anime character that points and yells objection. It's like the bird version of
Oh,
that.
Phoenix, right? It does. He has the
Yes.
hair. Yeah.
Yes. um, so I'm gonna say C. What did I say? C minus minus. Just because, again, take it or leave it. Definitely leave it, but I don't actively dislike. Like if I compare it to some of the other ones I've already said D for, it's a little bit better.
Yeah. I am gonna. It just occurred to me. Its name is Trumbeak, like trumpet, so it's probably supposed to look like a composer, and that's why it's got its wing up, like it's raising the conductor. That's it, not composer, conductor of an orchestra. Like it's got the
Okay.
stick,
Yeah.
but I still don't like it. But it definitely has the Phoenix right hair. Toucanon, I give a B. It looks nothing like its previous evolutions, and if you showed me Pick-a-Peck and Toucanon, I would never guess that they're part of the same evolutionary line. All three evolutions seem to have like their own thing going on, which is very unusual for Pokemon. But I like this guy because his beak is a cannon, and also he's just extremely grumpy all the time. So I gave him a B.
I said D plush would seem mean. I'm gonna say C half a minus. And my comment was Fruit Loops because that's all I can think of.
Yes. Up next is Young Goose. 0 out of 10. Don't like it. D. It's also like an asshole Pokemon that just bites things, including its own trainer. So
Really?
yeah, like it's apparently just a really shitty Pokemon in general.
I definitely agree with you on D. Normal type, not exciting, looks kind of mean. I would not catch it, I would avoid it. I would run from the battles.
Gumshoes. The only thing saving this from F tier is it wasn't on purpose, but that is the hair of a certain former president that I never ever ever want to see again. So he would be an F for that, but that wasn't what they were going for. They were trying to make him look like a detective, a gumshoe, which kind of like the Phoenix Wright theme again there, like Detective Gumshoe. So they weren't trying to do it, but it's very unpleasant. So D.
Again, very not knowledgeable. What is a gumshoe? Like you said detective something?
Yeah, gumshoe is a slang term for a detective, and the main detective in Phoenix Wright, who you talk to about cases, is Detective Gumshoe.
Oh. You know, that actually bumps it up for me. Because yeah, all I can see is the hair as well. And so D, half a plus.
Grubbin is a C. It's a little grub with pinchers. I would hate to see this thing in real life, but in Pokemon, it's kind of cute. But this would scare the shit out of me in real life. So it's a C.
I gave it a D specifically for what you just said. Because, like, I'm scared of bugs like most wimps are. And this one would, like, if I'm just imagining like crawling across my window or like on my desk or something, I would run away and have somebody else deal with it.
Yeah. How big is it? It is a foot long.
No! No, 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 no. Oh, no. That's a solid no.
Charjabug is A tier. A is for accordion, because that's the sound it makes. I'm going to play it now on the stream. Oh, that's really quiet. Hang on. Yeah, it makes an accordion noise. It moves like an accordion. It's an accordion battery, and I find that hilarious.
How big is this guy?
He's probably also... Yeah, he's the same size.
Hi! Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go... I do like the accordion thing. I'm gonna go C minus. I guess, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with C minus, but I'm just thinking, like, if that thing were a foot long and it was, like, slithering across my floor, but it was making the accordion sounds, I'd have to, like, laugh while running away.
I would be fine with it as long as it never opened its mouth. Vikavolt is an S tier for me. As soon as I saw this Pokemon was in the game, I was bound and determined to have it on my team, and then I was mad that you couldn't get a Vikavolt until fucking like level 40 to get to the right area, and if you didn't evolve it at level 30, it didn't learn a certain... It was very frustrating to find out the restrictions on getting a Vikavolt. But I think it looks really badass. I love that it is a... it's a railgun. Its face is a railgun to shoot electricity. I think it's a very cool design, and so it's an S tier for me.
Wait, so it's because of all the restrictions, does that mean when you finally get this guy is really powerful? Did you say that already?
He's as strong as any other third evolution. He's certainly stronger than like a regular bug third evolution. He's stronger than a Beedrill. The thing is, there's a certain move that he learns. The way that you evolve him is you level up a Charjabug in a magnetic area, and that causes the Charjabug to evolve into Vikavolt. If you have a Vikavolt before level 32, I think it was, when you level the Vikavolt to 32, it learns a certain very powerful electric attack. However, the only magnetic area in Sun and Moon was an endgame area shortly before the Elite Four, and you were already level 35 or 40 by the time you got to that area. So if I wanted to learn that super powerful electric move, I needed to put my Vikavolt to the side and never ever put my Charjabug to the side and never use him for like 10 levels until I could get the Vikavolt, and then it was the end of the game.
Is that did they add magnetic areas sooner in the game in Ultra Sun Moon?
Yes, that is one of the quality of life changes they made.
Oh, good. Okay.
You can get a Vikavolt much earlier.
Remind me, did you play through Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon?
I've played all the way through Sun and Moon. I've played through the first 2 islands, either the first 1.5 or the first 2 islands of Ultra Sun, and then I stopped. Because by that point, there were a few differences, but it was basically the same game, and I'd already played through Sun and Moon, and I was like, I don't really feel like playing this game for a third time right now.
Fair. Yeah, that's dedication to play through both Sun and Moon. I've always only ever played through one out of the 2 or 3, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I recently started doing that. Honestly, Sun and Moon is the first time that I've played through both versions shortly after each other. But I really enjoyed that, and then I really enjoyed playing through Sword and Shield one after another. So I think that, in general, that's kind of my attention span for a new Pokemon game, is 2 full playthroughs back to back. So one for each version works out pretty well.
Okay. Dang, you gave us an S tier. You know what? I'm gonna go C minus just because take it or leave it. But this thing, like, if I saw this, in universe, an electric flying bug, and it looks pretty big too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I saw this thing coming towards me, I'd be like, okay, I'm writing my will, and I'm waiting for death.
It is 4 feet and 11 inches long, so it is almost 5 feet long.
Okay, see, that's almost as tall as I am. So this thing, like, flying towards me, like, my life size for me, basically. Write my will, lie down, wait for death. C minus.
I do like, canonically, they are extremely, extremely fast Pokemon, but their speed stat is extremely low. And I saw that and I thought, that's so weird, that doesn't really make sense. But the game explains at some point they are extremely fast in going in a single direction. They really suck at turning. So in terms of combat, they're actually really slow to line up their attacks. But then when they attack, it's a lightning fast strike.
All I can think of is Zoolander.
Crab Brawler, I gave it an A. I don't know what it is about this design. Maybe it's the boxing glove claws. Maybe I do really like coconut crabs, and that is what it's based on. Normally I don't like fighting types this much, but he's definitely an A tier for me. I like Crab Brawler.
This thing isn't water fighting?
Correct, it is not water type at all.
D. These tricky Pokemon types, like, because crabs belong in water. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with D.
Crabominable is a D. It is a terrible follow-up to Crab Brawler. It turns the boxing gloves into weird bear paw hands. I guess it's supposed to kind of look like a Yeti. It doesn't look like a crab at all anymore. The shape is all wrong. Its arms look more like weird tentacles. It's also fighting ice type, which is adding further to the whole why is the crab not water type that you mentioned. Um, Also, it's a pain in the ass to get. You can only get it literally a few minutes before reaching the Elite Four. So, if you liked it, congrats, you can't ever use it in the game till the end of the game, just like a legendary. But its stats aren't that good. So it's a D for me. This is just all around, nothing about this is good.
Is there another Fighting Ice prior to this?
There was a legendary Fighting Ice, but I can't think of any other Fighting Ices.
Waste! D tier.
Actually, let me see. Single type, dual type. Oh, no, there were no other. It's the only Fighting Ice type in the game. There wasn't even a legendary.
Waste! Oh, D minus.
Eureka Rio, I gave a B. I like the different forms being different dance styles. I find the cheerleader form hilarious. But in the same way that I never ever want to use Rotom or Cast Form, I don't really ever want to use Eureka Rio. I think it's a neat Pokemon, but it's not one I would ever include on my team.
I'm gonna revise mine to a C, just because I don't think I've ever seen this before in any of the forms.
Oh yeah, it's so it changes type. It's basically in the game what you're doing is you catch an Eureka Rio. Usually, I think the first one you find is the cheerleading form, which is electric, of course. And you go to different dancers around the islands, and they will teach it a different dance style, which causes it to change form based on the dance style it's doing. So you can find the hula dancer, and she'll teach it the hula style, and it'll turn into the psychic type. Or you can find the tango dancer. What is this called? Where
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
Flamenco?
Flamenco, that's it, yeah. You find the flamenco dancer, and they'll teach a flamenco style, and that makes it the fire type at the top. And then the last one is the ghost type. I don't know the name of that dance. But I like that idea, that it's changing types based on the dance it's performing and everything. But I would never ever use it. Oh, it actually says... Oh, they're just like made up terms, like pom-pom style, and but not the actual names of the dances.
Definitely not cheerleading TM.
Cutiefly, I gave it a D, and I was originally gonna say that seems harsh, but honestly, it's such an annoying little gnat. I would definitely swat this in real life.
Brutal. How big is it?
It is 4 inches, so fairly large for a bug, but minuscule for a Pokemon.
4 inches. Oh my gosh, yeah, this thing coming towards me. What did I say? D. Wait, right? Cutie fly. Yeah. D, Bug, Fairy, don't like either of the types. The nose looks like it would hurt if it stung you with its nose. Yeah, D.
For Bombi, I gave a D. It's very forgettable. I forget this Pokemon exists all the time. It's just so boring to me.
I think okay. I hecka screwed something up on the rating, so I think this is supposed to be a D. Yeah, because I don't particularly care for it. The antenna look like Playboy bunny ears. And it's still Bug Fairy. Yeah, it's still bug fairy. Wouldn't catch it. Wouldn't catch the base Pokemon and evolve it. So
Rockruff. I gave it a C. It's a rock doggo. It's cute, but I'm kind of just on it.
yeah, I said D plus solely because it's a doggo. Like in universe, this would be one of your options to have a dog. Probably wouldn't take this one, but plus just because it's a doggo. Otherwise, rock type. No thanks. D plus.
Lycanroc. I give it a C. I think the forms were unnecessary. I think they were trying to spice up a fairly bland Pokemon, and I don't feel like they succeeded. I think Midnight form looks completely unrelated to the original Pokemon. I think Dusk form just looks like a shiny version of the regular form. Nah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with C minus because I do like this one better than Rockruff. But to your point, looking at the regular form or the other forms, I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at. Like, did he get dressed? Did he forget to drink his coffee? I don't.
You get the midday form in Pokemon Sun. You get the midnight form in Pokemon Moon, and you can get the dusk form from doing something special at a certain time. Oh, an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon by leveling it up at a certain time.
So complicated. D. No. C minus? Yeah. C minus minus for the lack of clarity.
Wishy-Washy I give an A to, because I like the schooling thing where it's a giant fish form made up of the smaller fish. I think that's an interesting idea. So I give it an A for that.
I gave it a B for the exact same reason. Wait, this is only water type, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, it's a neat idea, but maybe I caught one for completion's sake, and I couldn't like quite figure out how to get to cool form.
I think it has to be level 20.
That's why.
Yeah. So the first one you catch won't be able to school until level 20. Marini, I give a B. It's a cute little anemone Pokemon. I like this is more for its evolution, but I like the like spiked tentacles being kind of like a bunker around it to protect it. I always thought that the tentacle in front of its face was shorter, but I think it actually might just be like lifted up. No, it's definitely just shorter. Never mind. I don't know. I think it's a cute design, and it's one of the first poison types I've seen that I haven't been like, oh yeah, that's a pretty gross thing to look at. So I give it a B.
See, while I agree with you in that, like you said, poison type, and you're not like, what's the word? Cringing in disgust. There's a better word. Reeling in disgust. Everything I've ever learned in biology, so not much, says to me like this thing is poisonous, don't touch it. Like the colors and the spikes and it's kind of jelly-like too. So there's that, and then the sludge and the teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying.
And it actually is very bad to touch. And I believe I've seen clips. James from the Pokemon TV show, James from Jesse and James, has a Marini that really, really loves him and loves hugging him and poisons him all the time because of that.
Oh.
Um, Toxapex, same thing. I think it's very cool. I love the bunker style of its tentacles. I like that the Pokemon itself, the actual body is like the same size. It's just gotten huge armored tentacles now. I think it's a pretty cool design, so I keep it at a B.
So, is this one particularly powerful or rare?
I don't think so. It's pretty standard power, I think, for Pokemon. And I don't think it's rare. I think you can catch Marini pretty easily.
Okay. Then I must have. Because I remember seeing this one in Gen 8 and going out of my way to catch it because I was like, whoa, that thing is like so powerful and so rare. And it was just me not knowing anything. So C minus minus for that.
Mudbray. I give it a B. It's a donkey, but it's cute. I like the mud around its hooves, so I give it a I give it a B.
Around its hooves? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's mud caked on around its legs.
Aw, poor thing.
It's ground type. It does that on purpose.
I said, that's kind of mean. No, well, see half a minus. Half a minus. Because of utility, like this is the way you get around in Sun Moon, right? Although, don't you get a bike too?
You don't get a bike. You can ride. You ride Pokemon, so you can ride the Tauros if you want to go fast. You can ride the Mudsdale to go over rocky terrain. I mean, you can ride the Mudsdale anytime, but it moves at the same speed as like your normal run speed.
Okay, but you can't ride this guy? Oh,
No,
then what?
Yeah, you can't ride the
C
Mudbray.
minus. C minus because he needs to wash his feet.
Mudsdale, I think, is very, very cool. A plus. This is another Pokemon that as soon as I saw it, I was like, I want that thing on my team. He just looks really powerful, really tough. He is one of the heaviest Pokemon in the game, which I don't know. I just really like that. I think he just looks really cool. So he's an A plus for me.
The heaviest? Really?
One of the heaviest. He weighs 1 full ton, 2,028 pounds.
Oh, what?
He is a heavy
What
boy.
are physics? Oh my gosh. I said, what did I see? C, half a minus, not a D because of utility. Like you just said, apparently there's no bikes, and you can ride this guy around, which I distinctly remember because I hate walking in the Pokemon games. But I appreciate him for making you go faster.
Dewpider, I give it an A. I give it an A. I think it is very cute. I like that it's a reverse water spider, where normally a water spider has an air bubble around its abdomen to allow it to breathe when it dives underwater. This instead has a water bubble around its head so it can breathe on land, and I just like that reversal.
You said A?
Sorry?
Sorry, I was saying you said A? That's so high.
Yeah, I think it's really cute. I mean, I know it's spider based, but I think it's a really cute Pokemon.
I guess let me ask you that: how big is it?
It is a foot tall.
Let me see, foot tall. You know what? Honestly, the fact that it's like a little bit bigger makes it less scary because it, especially in this picture, it looks kind of derpy. And I think if it was like a foot tall, like That'd be kind of funny to see it scuttling across my desk. I'm gonna go C, half a minus.
Araquanid drops down to a B for me because it is no longer cute, but I still like the water bubble thing. I also like that in Pokemon Sun, its Pokedex entry says that it rescues Pokemon by bringing them inside its water bubble to heal them. Whereas in Pokemon Moon, it says that it eats Pokemon by trapping them inside its water bubble. And I like that there's not really confirmation of which it's actually doing.
That's terrifying. But awesome. C, half a plus.
Fomantis. I am switching from C to a B simply because its name is a pun. It's not bug type, it's just grass type, so it's a faux mantis.
B minus because of what you just said.
Lurantis. Give it a C. I don't like the pinstripe pants. Really, that's just the part that I dislike. I don't like the pinstripe pants. I think they look stupid. That's what's preventing it from being any higher than a C for me.
Is this Pokemon's name any sort of like pun, dad joke, wordplay?
It's just a combination of the words lure and mantis to make Lurantis.
Is it luring you in with those ugly pants? Oh my gosh.
I think it's you know, it's kind of it's modeled after those mantises that kind of look like orchids, the flower mantises that are all like pink and
Yes!
like flowers. So
I can only think of it from Animal Crossing, but I know what you're talking about.
I think that's the luring, is it's looking like, even though it actually is a grass type, so I guess it actually is a flower, it's luring you in by looking like a flower, and then it captures you.
Okay. Sorry, that took me a second. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with D rating. I don't like the pants either.
Morello gets a C. It's some mushrooms. I'm just not into it. It's a C.
I gave it a D just because I cannot see its name as anything other than more lull. And I'm like, I cannot unsee. And then you look at it, it's a mushroom, and I'm like, where's the lulls? I'm not funny. But D rating.
It's a psychic or fairy type, so I think the lull is that it lulls you to sleep with magical spores, puts you in an enchanted slumber.
Gosh, keep that thing away from me.
Shinotic is very creepy and gets a D minus. I don't like that at all. Normally I'm big on mushroom hats, but they managed to really ruin this one.
You know, I'm honestly surprised. Well, I shouldn't say surprised because it's the pre-evolutionist grass fairy, but like, if you showed me a picture of this, I'd be like, poison ghost.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna stick with D for this one, for the confusing type. Because I would try to like, because fairy is good against psychic, is that right? Or is it, no?
Ghost is good against psychic. Fairy is normal against psychic.
Okay. Maybe because I'm getting confused because in Gen 1, the Ghastly line was Poison Ghost, right? And so because of the poison half, like you could use a psychic Pokemon and just crush it. Whereas with this one, it's not Poison Ghost. And so your psychic Pokemon would not be doing any extra damage, and that would make me mad, and so D rating.
That's fair. Salandit, it's a salamander. I give it a C. There's eh.
I hate this guy. F.
Any particular reason, or because of his next evolution?
Yeah. No, because well, for this one specifically, I was telling you earlier, right? Because of the there's a cave. I don't know if it's part of a totally not gym, or like if it's just you have to get past the cave in order to progress in the story. Like you can't skip it. And there's like 8 of these things in there, and I kept losing. I don't know why. Probably because I didn't the goblet of balls because it was grass type. But first time I ever lost. Hate these things so much.
Rowlet would be at a severe disadvantage of this thing because its poison and fire are both super effective against grass.
I know, that's probably why I lost.
Salazzle is an F. Too horny, Nintendo, please stop.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate to imagine the fan art of this one. Also because it's the evolution of the first guy, this one I had no hope. So, yeah.
This already looks like fan art of a Pokemon.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Also, it doesn't help that only the female Salandits can evolve into Salazzle, so Salazzles are always female. Someone at Nintendo was horny that day. Stuffle gets a B. It's a cute little stuffed animal Pokemon, and I think that's a cute idea. I'm not super big on its destructive, overwhelming power, but that is kind of funny considering it is basically a stuffed animal.
What it is. Okay. I think I saw this one again for the first time in Gen 8 somehow, and I remember looking up its evolution because you can find the evolution in the wild area, right? Mm-hmm. I remember thinking, oh, I should really catch this. Otherwise, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, otherwise, it looks like a stuffed animal perched on top of like chocolate roll cake. So I have like mixed feelings about that. So I'm gonna stick with C.
Its evolution, Beware. I do like the name, but it's a C. It's a very bland-looking Pokemon. It doesn't really look like a... Well, it does still look like a stuffed animal, but it's also like, what, 8 feet tall? 6 feet, 7 feet tall. I encountered one in the wild area, and it chases you down, and that is frightening, because this thing is canonically strong enough to destroy buildings without noticing. So having one physically run you down is terrifying.
Chases you down. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. You gave it a C. Yeah, I'm gonna go with C as well. It no longer looks like cake, and I don't like that.
Bounsweet is cute. It's. I think this is a very good grass starter Pokemon. So I give it a B. Cute little berry Pokemon.
A D, which seems harsh. I think because I thought it was a mangosteen, and I think it is, and it's not a lychee. I remember trying mangosteen, and I didn't like it. But if you asked me to describe the taste, I couldn't describe it to you. So I'm gonna bounce this guy up to a C. Take it or leave it. Give mangosteen a try. Lychee is good.
Steenie, I also give a B. I like the name for some reason. Steenie is a very cute name. But I think it looks like a good second evolution to Bounsweet. It's kind of riding the train from Bounsweet. If Bounsweet wasn't a B for me, I don't think Steenie would be either. But I like that it's kind of just the berry has grown, um, and it still retains the same cuteness. It's a cute little grass type, so it's still a B for me.
I see what you're saying. Like I can visually see it, and like the berry has grown. But like prior to you saying that, all I can see is once again Phoebe from Dexter's Lab, like ballerina pigtails.
Oh yeah.
So C, take it or leave it. I like the grass type. I probably wouldn't catch it or catch the yeah. Anyway.
Sarina is a D minus. Nintendo, please stop. It evolves by learning the move Stomp. So there was only one thing going through the creator's head when this Pokemon was made, and it involved feet. And I don't really need that in my Pokemon games, so D minus, please get rid of it.
I did not know that. I did not need to know that. I said D plus. Is this the Kim K Pokemon? LOL. I cracked myself up. Still stand by that. That's like a. That's not even a good dad joke, but I stand by it.
Yeah, apparently this Pokemon is all about stomping on its enemies.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Next.
Click. There we go. Comfy. I don't know what Comfy. It's a Garland. Yay! I don't even understand the point of this Pokemon. It's a C because I don't hate it, but it's also one of the most boring Pokemon I've ever seen. And it's also not grass type.
Yeah. What? This seems really fragile. I don't like, how does it just bounce around, float around?
I think it floats. So the flowers are not actually part of it. It's got, do you see that kind of like blue wire that's stringing the flowers together?
Yes.
That's part of the Pokemon. And it strings flowers along the blue wire.
Oh.
Like it's a tail basically, and it holds its tail as it goes, but it floats through the air.
D. I don't like that.
Oranguru is a monkey, so it gets a D. I don't like it.
I like the idea, but I dislike the execution, but I don't know what idea that I like. So, C minus, take it or leave it. Most likely leave it.
Passimian, same deal. I would give both of these C's, but they're monkeys, so they go down to D's. I don't really like them.
But I like the idea, just like the execution. Of what idea? Yeah. You know what? I'll even copy it. D. I don't know where his pants went.
Wimpod is an A. I think it's hilarious. I already like isopods / horseshoe crabs, which seem to be the two inspirations for it. I like that its ability is Wimp Out because it's so wimpy. I like the ability is called Wimp Out on Wimpod, but called Emergency Exit on its evolution Golisopod, but it's the same ability. It just changes the name so it's not wimpy anymore.
For that alone, we're gonna jump up to a B. Like, I very much relate to a wimpy Pokemon whose ability is Wimp Out. Like, that would be me as a Pokemon.
Golisopod is an S plus for me. Motherfucker Unlimited. I love this guy. he is awesome. I love his battle armor appearance. I still love that it's the same ability as Wimp Out, but it's called Emergency Exit because he's badass now, so he has to have a badass ability. I just think he's really, really cool. Hey, thanks for the follow, Rylac. Or Ryliac.
Rowlia? Rowlia? Yeah, I don't.
R4 Lyak.
Yeah, I put terrifying in an intimidating way. Because, I mean, no matter how big this is, even if it was tiny, even if it was gargantuan, like, you would see this and you're like, I'm about to get pricked. Maybe not die, but I'm still going to move away. So, C, because I probably wouldn't catch it and evolve it, but I can respect its terrifyingness.
He also learns one of my favorite moves, First Impression, which is a bug-type move that always goes first and interrupts the opponent. And I don't know, I really like that move. It's really cool. It's like quick attack, but on steroids.
So that'll be really helpful in the Pokemon Breath of the Wild game, right? Because you were talking about speed is actually going to matter in that one.
Yeah. Moves that cause the opponent to flinch and moves that increase your speed are going to be a lot more important in that game. Sandygast is a D. It is a pile of sand with a hole in it and a shovel sticking out of its head. It's just not interesting to me.
I put A-level shitpost, but F-level Pokemon, so that averages out to a C.
Pylosand is a sandcastle, and also apparently steals souls, like most ghost Pokemon. So it is also a D.
Yeah, what does it do? It makes you a resident in the sandy castle? Like, what?
I don't remember. I think it, like, people who look through the hole in its middle get their souls sucked out or something like that. It's always really creepy stuff with ghost Pokemon.
But B-level shitpost, F-level Pokemon. I'm going to argue that our averages out to a D. It's like, what am I trying to say? Okay, I don't know if you watch SNL, right? But they had the one skit where Melissa McCarthy came out dressed as Sean Spicer. And, like, the first one, it was, like, new and innovative, and, like, nobody realized it was Melissa McCarthy until she started talking. And she did, like, a really good job with it, right? Like, no breaking, even though she was saying, like, ridiculous stuff. And it did so well that, like, the next week's episode opener was literally the same thing, just a new coat of paint, right? And that's kind of what this feels like. So we're going to go down to a D-.
That's fair. Pyukumuku is a D. It's gross. The white stuff coming out of its back is its guts, apparently. And I don't like it. It also punches you with its guts. Like, it literally opens its mouth at the front, and a white fist comes out and punches you, and that's one of its attacks. And I don't like that. I don't like anything about it. I want it to go away. It gets a D.
Why?
Because sea cucumbers, it's based on sea cucumbers, and one of their defense mechanisms is they eject some of their viscera, their internal organs, to escape from predators, because they can regrow it, I believe.
Okay. I put C, my foot is poisoned just looking at it, but I think that was me thinking that this is a sea urchin, not a sea cucumber. And so after everything you just described, I'm going to go with D as well. Just because that's even worse than a sea urchin that you step on and poison your foot.
Type Null. Wow, I was not nice to these ones. I like the origin of Type Null in the game. I like how you get one, and I like how it evolves. I think it's really nice. But as a Pokemon, it is so uninteresting to me. It doesn't even look like it fits in the Pokemon universe. This looks like a Final Fantasy creature. So
Yeah.
I think, what did I give it? I gave it a C. Yeah, it's got a C.
I'd C plus because I don't know. It seems neat. Like it seems like kind of like Frankenstein-y cobbled together. Like I see like a fishtail and a helmet, but there's a axe blade attached to the helmet, and there's some gloves on the front paw. I don't know what I'm looking at. So it seems kind of cool. I didn't realize it was normal type though, so that's kind of boring. I'll say Seep's half a plus.
Do you know the origin of Type Null? What it is?
Nope.
It is science's attempt to recreate Arceus.
Oh no.
So the reason it's normal type is Arceus is normal type. Arceus uses elemental plates to change its type, and Type Null could use discs to do the same thing. They were attempting to recreate Arceus's power.
Is Type Null in Sun Moon, or do you have to get the Ultra Sun Moon?
He's in Sun and Moon. He is what's his name? I can't remember his name, but there's a character who uses him, who uses Type Null. He rescued Type Null from the facility that created it, and eventually he gives you Type Null, or gives you a Type Null. It's not legendary, so apparently there's more than one.
Oh, okay. See that my next question was going to be, isn't that origin story almost identical to Mewtwo's? But Mewtwo, there's only one, so okay, that answers my question.
Yeah. Type Null evolves through friendship into Silvally, which I think is really sweet. And you see the main difference is the helmet's gone. The helmet was basically a muzzle. And so when you raise your friendship high enough, the helmet goes away and it becomes Silvally. It's still basically the same thing, just with higher stats. But I think Type Null can't actually change type, but Silvally can, by holding special items, can change its type, just like Arceus. So when it becomes Silvally, it gains that power. However, 0 out of 10 design, don't like it. I like its story, and that's what's saving it from an F, but I think its design is very clumsy and lame. So it's a D for me.
That is really depressing that you have to raise its friendship to take off its helmet / muzzle. But you're right, I don't like this guy, how this guy looks. Terrible to say, but I almost think the helmet looks better. Or less bad, let's say. Less bad. This one, C, take it or leave it. And is it accurate to say this is probably endgame, or closer to endgame?
Yeah, you only get Type Null after completing most of the story in Sun and Moon.
Okay. Then I've never seen this guy before in game.
Minior. I totally forgot that this guy was Sun and Moon Pokemon. I gave him an A. I like his unshielded form, the core form. They come in different colors, which I think is neat. He's very useless though. He's not a very good Pokemon to use, but I like his design.
Wait, you said the core form, that's the pink one on the bottom there. Pinkish,
Yeah,
reddish.
so there's a this one, which I think is supposed to be, they're all like pastel colors, so you got the red one, a yellow one, a blue one. I think there's a black, okay, no, here we go. There's red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, and purple. And
Oh,
then
dang.
the shiny version is like, oh, you can see it on screen there. It's like black with colors inside it. Kind of a mix of all the colors.
Okay. Um, I have never seen this one before. Looking at the molten meteor form is really terrifying. The cores are pretty cool, so I think based on my lack of knowledge, I'm gonna have to go with C. I didn't know this one existed. Is this one not in Gen 8 either?
Yeah, I don't think it's in Gen 8.
Okay, then I would have never seen it in game.
Komala is the sleeping koala. It's cute, but I would never want to use these. And I always one-shot them whenever I fought them, so they never seemed particularly impressive to fight either. So it's a C.
Is there a evolution to this one?
Nope. It is just this.
Is this gen's version of like the Safari Pokemon? Do you like how the Safari Pokemon were like kind of unique and like standalone?
Yeah.
Okay. Ability comatose. Where's coma at? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with C. I've never seen this one. It's normal type. Doesn't evolve. It doesn't evolve. I probably wouldn't use it. Nice ability, but C.
Turtonator is a D. I don't like its design at all. I definitely understand what they were going for, and I even recognize the type of turtle they based it on. I've never liked those turtles. I hate how they look. So I just don't like anything about this guy. So he's a D.
What kind of turtle? I'm curious because I thought this was just like some weird design that Nintendo came up with.
I don't know the name of them, but it's a turtle that you'll find in like rivers and things, and they've got like a really long nose that they poke it out of the water to breathe when they're submerged. I don't know what they're called, but they also have that kind of like ragged edge to their, like the sharp edges to their shell. They don't have like a normal round shell. It's got the kind of like spikes on the edges. Not like really sharp or anything, but maybe they're just called long-nosed turtles? Let me see.
This whole time I thought Nintendo came up with an ugly design. It actually exists in nature. That doesn't save it from the D rating though.
Oh, I guess they don't have the ragged shell. But yeah, it's based on a long-nosed turtle. Image. Here you go.
My gosh, what? What? I dislike all of this. Oh, dislike. Oh, I almost like the Pokemon better now.
I guess the shell is more to look like the landmine that this turtle apparently is.
Landmine.
Yeah, Turtonator is a landmine. If you attack its shell, it explodes.
Oh, and explodes like the Pokemon move where like it faints itself but does a ton of damage.
It does not faint itself.
Oh, really?
It just generates a huge burst of energy out of its shell to create an explosion. But yeah, the Pokemon itself is fine.
I like this guy less and less as we continue talking about it.
Togedemaru is not Pikachu 7.0. At least it's Steel type, but it's a C. It's kind of cute, but meh.
Is this another definitely not a Pikachu clone, TM?
Yes. Yeah.
I see. D, that's kind of harsh. I'll say C minus. Didn't need another one. At least it's not all yellow. I don't know what I'm saying. C minus. Wouldn't catch it.
If they got rid of the yellow circles on its cheeks and got rid of the tail, I would give this Pokemon a B because it's like a hedgehog and it's very cute. Or yeah, hedgehog and it's very cute. But the fact that they gave it the jagged Pikachu tail and gave it the electric pouch cheeks, they were just trying to make yet another Pikachu.
I see it. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mimikyu is an S. I like Mimikyu a lot. I like that it is extremely jealous of Pikachu and the fact that everyone loves Pikachu, so it made a Pikachu costume so that people would like it. I like the lore that anyone who looks under the costume gets usually scared to death because it's so horrifying to look at.
Oh, dang.
And I think they did a really good job in game introducing Mimikyu. When you find it and have to fight one, it's very, very creepy. So it's an S tier for me.
I C plus, which seems too low. I'm gonna say B half a plus. B half a plus. Here, I do like what little I've heard of the lore, aka literally what you just described. I do like it as well, and I remember the battle in game. I must have gotten at least this far, or maybe watched the playthrough of it. What bums me out is that it chose Pikachu, which, I mean, of course it did, right? But I would love to see, like, and maybe this already happened, and you can tell me, but, like, I would love to see more Mimikyu, but they dress up as other Pokemon. I think that would be so fun.
Yeah. As far as I know, that hasn't happened, but I really hope it does, because I would like to see, like, just other Mimikyus of other popular Pokemon.
Well, and you know it would be a fantastic merchandising opportunity for Pokemon, so I feel like they should do it. And I would appreciate it. So then, is it fair to say that there's probably hasn't been a reveal of what's underneath yet?
Yeah, the most we've seen, I think, in the anime, it's like, I think Meowth sees under the thing and is horrified, and we just kind of see darkness with two eyes. So we don't really know what the actual Mimikyu looks like.
But Meowth is still alive.
Yes, most things that look under it get horrified to death, but Meowth is just really, like, horrified and creeped out. I mean, it's the anime, no one can actually die, so...
That's true.
Except
Touché.
Ash that one time.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, Mewtwo kills Ash, just straight up kills him at one point. And then...
In the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, in the movie he turns to stone, right? And as a kid, I was dumb enough to believe he just turned to stone. I didn't make the connection that, like, dead.
Yeah. Bruxish is an F. I hate everything about this. There is not a single feature that I like. The feature that I hate the most, though, is the weird bulb that very clearly opens up on its head. That concerns me greatly. That is not a naturally occurring organic thing, and I don't like it. I don't like this form. I don't like anything. It's bad. Bad, bad, bad to look at. Hate it. F.
What is the bulb supposed to do?
I don't know.
In game, sorry.
I have no idea. I try not to look at it.
I put D. I guess. I mean D, F, Z. I'm in the same boat. Like I wouldn't catch it. I would avoid it. Water psychic. Not a fan. Yeah, just not a fan.
Drampa also gets an F for me because he looks like someone cut him in half. He looks like half a dragon.
Okay, so I saw your comment on this, and I think you've explained it to me before, but A, I forgot, and B, I still don't fully understand. Does that make sense? How
Yeah.
it's cut in half.
Um, so this is not a great picture of it to tell, but maybe yeah. Here's a picture. So it's got like two front legs that it like holds close to its chest. If you see that, and then it doesn't have any other limbs, and the rest of its body just ends. So like on this picture, you can't see my mouse. There's the head and then the long bent neck, and then the arms come out of the middle of the body, and then the body just ends in a tail.
The arms, you said the arms are like the white fluffy things?
Yeah.
Oh, see, okay, I didn't quite realize that until now. Boy, this is confusing to look at.
Yeah, it is, which is another reason I don't like it. Um, it looks like the dragon just ends when it should have more body.
They ran out of time on the design, they had to get the game out.
This Pokemon is a metaphor for Sword and Shield.
Um, I said this guy looks kind of like a shitpost because like I don't know, maybe the vibes of it's like the eyes are all colorful and it's like an old, like it's got like the old white beard, so it's like old and wise, but like you said, it's cut in half. It's kind of, I don't know. It looks like somebody's nephew drew this and was like, "Hey, add this to the game," and they were like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I don't know. D plus.
Delmise, I give a B. I like this seaweed wrapped around an anchor and ship's wheel. I think the seaweed is the actual Pokemon, and the rest is just stuff that it wrapped up together. And it's ghost grass, and I think that's just a neat idea to have the seaweed kind of possessing an anchor and ship's wheel and compass like that.
Is this what's the word? Pseudo legendary?
No.
What? I've never seen this before, and so I thought maybe it was one of those ones where like super endgame, you have very few chances to catch it. I don't know how to rate this one. Is this an anchor Maka S? Like you said, yes, it is.
I don't know how late in the game you get it. Yeah, I have no memory of where that village is. I think it's probably 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through the game is where you encounter one of them.
Okay, but prior to the Elite Four equivalent.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're not particularly hard to catch, you just have to fish them up. Jangmo-O gets a C. I don't know how to say the names of this one or any of its evolutions because I don't know what the -O means. The pronunciation. I don't know if it's Jangmu or Jangmo-O. But also, why did I give this one? No, it's a C. I don't hate the design, but I'm not a fan of it.
I said C minus. Yeah, I don't actually know how to pronounce the names either. I would have, again, if you showed this to me, I'd be like Dragon Steel, and apparently it's not. So C minus.
Yeah, this one is just dragon, and then the evolutions are dragon fighting, which yeah, I also thought
What?
dragon steel. Yeah, they're dragon fighting type. which makes me like them even less, which is why my rating goes down to a D for both this one and the next one. Hakamo-O, I don't like it. D.
I A plus. That seems too high. I'm gonna put. Oh no, I lost it. Okay, I'm gonna put B half a plus. Because there's a. I want to say it's either a metro station or like a neighborhood in Finland. I think it's a metro station in Helsinki that's called Hakamiemi. I'm butchering the pronunciation, but because like the first 5 letters are similar, I can appreciate that. But like the Pokemon itself, I would have thought it's Steel. Oh, this line is pseudo legendary. Yes,
I
no?
believe
Yes?
so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what a waste of the pseudo legendaries.
Yes, very
So
much.
B half a plus.
This is the first generation where I have just been like zero interest in the pseudo legendary. Even in black and white, I liked Hydreigon. So in this one, I'm just like I had no interest in these guys whatsoever. I barely even felt like catching the first evolution when I was playing through the game. Como-O, still a D. Its posture is weird, and if it were Steel type, I would like it more, but it's Fighting type, and nah, not a fan. I think Fighting type might be my least favorite type in the game.
That's fairy for me, with no rational explanation. This guy I put C plus. I remember you can catch this guy in the wild area in Gen 8, and because it was pseudo legendary in Gen 7, so it's got like decent-ish stats in Gen 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that, and then I'm pretty sure it's definitely not on my like main roster, so I don't know. C half a plus.
Now we're getting into the legendaries, of which there are, oh my god, so many. I like all the Tapus. I gave all of them A's. I like their designs. I like that their little shells turn into heads when they use a certain move. I think they're very well designed, and I like them. I like Tapu Koko, and Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Fini. I like them all.
I put. They turn into heads. Oh, sorry. Okay, jumping ahead. I put maybe I'll try to replay Sumo or use some before this stream, and then I did not make it. my copy of Ultra Sled still hasn't shipped yet. I'm so bummed. Yeah, and then obviously in the main games, or I'm sorry, in Moon, which is the one I had, I did not get this far. But to your point, I liked the design of all of them. And so for Tapu Koko, Electric Fairy, fun. I mean, B just by default, legendary, unique type combo. I don't. Now I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, is it holding like big fans or are those its arms?
Those are part of its arms. They're a shell that it draws together when it uses its land spirit attack.
Neat.
Tapu Lele. The thing I like most about this design is it reminds me of the magic pots from Final Fantasy, which are little floating pots with a creature inside. This one turns into a butterfly head, and the two pink long bangs in front of it turn into the antenna. I think that's cute.
What are the little pot things from Final Fantasy?
They're just usually a late game. Hey, there's Coma. Hi, Coma. They're usually a late game creature that it's called Magic Pot, and it'll be like just a big pot, usually orange, I think, and there's like a little blue creature inside it. And depending on the game and what you do, it will either give you a reward or do a lot of damage to you and then run away.
That is fantastic. Is it 50/50 or RNG or how like
It's RNG. The only one that I can remember fully clearly is Final Fantasy X, where there are eyes on the pot, and you have to attack the correct eye. If you attack the correct one, it gives you a reward. If you attack the wrong one, it will either just flee, or it'll like use an attack on you and then flee.
I like that. That's funny. This one I know nothing about. C, B, what would be the middle of that? C plus, B minus?
Yeah. I think if you're on the fence, maybe go for like C plus.
All right, C plus.
Tapu Bulu. I don't like this one as much as the others. The others are all A pluses. This one's an A for me. I do like that it turns into a bowl head with the kind of like a bell tail being a nose ring.
That's awesome.
But its design itself is not as good as the others. So it's still an A because I like a lot about it, but I'm just not as in love with the design as I am with the others. Bullheaded, yes.
Put A because when we were doing the Pokemon outfit challenge, you suggested this one as I think it was fairy, right? Because I was like,
Yeah.
What fairy one is A legendary, B crossed with grass, C not pink? And you suggested this one, and it actually worked out so well. So for that alone, A.
Tapu Fini. This is the one that I actually started using. This is one of the few legendaries that I caught and actually put on my team when I played the game. I like the Venus and a half shell kind of design going on. And then it closes up like a clam and becomes a swordfish head. I think it's a really cool Pokemon. I like its design a lot. So not quite S rank, but definitely A plus. And my favorite of the Tapus.
Put B because it looks the most sleek, dangerous. But I do not like the fairy. Wait, are all of them fairy type?
Yeah,
combo?
they're all fairy type.
Oh, frick. I like the color palette. I like the, like I said, like sleek, dangerous. B, similar to the previous ones.
I do agree fairy tends to be F tier. Agree with what Mama said. But I do dislike fighting more than fairy. I will say that. There's a thing clamping down on your fingernail. Oh, my fingernail. It would probably just cut it for me. That would be nice. Cosmog is adorable. Nebby, 10 out of 10. He is friend-shaped and S tier.
Friend shape?
Yes. He is a friend.
Is Cosmog legendary / myth? Well, I guess it wouldn't be mythical, right? Because you can get it in the game.
Right. He is legendary, and he's the only known legendary Pokemon to evolve.
Oh, okay. I put B minus because I don't know why. I maybe overhyped a bit. And I remember in the game, like the chick in the white dress makes him like hide in a gym bag, and
Yes.
he causes a lot of problem because he pops out. But come on, like, can you really blame him? Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'll go B half a plus.
Um, we are getting into spoilers for Sun and Moon's story. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah, because I guarantee I won't remember it. Just like how again when you guys talked about Ruby season 8, and all I could remember was one word. Yeah. um, and I will. I don't know when I'm gonna get my game. I'm like so bummed that it hasn't even shipped yet. I could if it had shipped and it was in transit, I'd be okay. But I don't know when it's gonna ship.
Um, Cosmog evolves into Cosmo M, which is a B tier. I don't like it nearly as much. It just kind of looks like a gemstone. Um, and also, you have to have it for 11 level or for 10 levels, and it can't attack. I don't think it learns any moves. So it is completely useless to actually use in game. Its entire purpose is story, for 8 reasons.
Is this one like what's it called? Metapod and Cocoon?
Yes. So Nebi or Cosmog is basically Caterpie. Cosmo
Yes.
M is basically Metapod. Um, in game, Nebi, the Cosmog that is in Lily's bag, evolves into Cosmo M at one point and just kind of like floats there and doesn't do anything until it evolves into the final form.
Today, I said B plus because it does look a little more sturdy, and I appreciate that. Um, the picture makes it look like it's constantly singing. Yeah, B plus, kind of boring. I didn't realize that it couldn't attack, so that kind of takes it down a notch. But stick with B plus.
I definitely see how it looks like it's singing, but the red line is actually just a line on it. That's not its mouth.
Oh,
It's just sleeping. Its mouth is invisible. Soul Galio is S tier. Um, wow, I wrote a whole lot. Oh, yeah, and I. So, my entire message, or my entire comment on this is I love the concept that the eyes on Solgaleo and Lunala are Cosmo M's actual body. Because that's, if you look at the eyes, they're the same blue, like, and the golden spikes on its head. Its face is Cosmo M. Um, and the rest is a projection. Will you hush, sweetie?
yeah, I can hear the cat through the headphones.
The rest is a projection or extension of the shell around it. The implications of different forms and what causes them are wild, and in this essay I will, and then I stopped. I could go on for days about. I loved this. So you get Solgaleo in Sun and Lunala in Moon,
Yes.
but they both evolve from Cosmo M. So if you have a Cosmog and evolve it in Pokemon Sun, it will always evolve into Solgaleo. Whereas if you evolve it in Pokemon Moon, it will always evolve into Lunala. Because Sun and Moon are two different universes, two different versions of the same universe. They're parallel universes to each other, and the game actually does explore that. There's a whole lot of like parallel universe stuff going on. That's where the Ultra Beasts come from. It's such a cool idea, and I love the way that Solgaleo and Lunala were done. They are some of my favorite legendaries for that.
That that's all in the regular games. So like if better said, if you play through the regular games, you'll learn all of that.
Yes, and you
Okay.
even at the end of the game, you get the ability to travel to the other universe. So if you're playing through Sun, once you've beaten the game and completed the story, you get the ability to travel to Pokemon Moon, where you get a Cosmog, and you take it back with you into your game. It's very cool. I like it a lot.
You get another Cosmog.
It's the only Cosmog that you get. So the Solgaleo or Lunala that you encounter in the game is Nebby, the little Cosmog that Lily has the whole time. So you never actually have that Cosmog. That's Lily's Pokemon.
Okay.
Then it evolves in Cosmo M, and she keeps holding on to it, but it's still like her Pokemon. It's not registered in your Pokedex or anything. And then when it evolves into Solgaleo or Lunala, then it wants to fight you, and then you beat it, and it joins you. It wants to... It's still Nebby, and Nebby does still like Lily and everything, but it wants to, like... It's a Pokemon that fights now, and it wants to go with you because you're a trainer, and you'll help it get stronger and everything like that. So going into the alternate dimension gives you a chance to actually get Cosmog and Cosmo M in your Pokedex. Because you didn't get Nebby in your Pokedex until you got Solgaleo.
Okay, so 2 questions. Well, not really. I was going to ask, like, why would Nebby ever leave Lily, but now I'm following. When you go into the alternate dimension and get your Cosmog and Cosmo M, can you evolve it into the other one? Does that make sense?
I think it will still evolve into a Solgaleo or Lunala. It will still evolve into the same Pokemon as your game. Yeah. So it'll still evolve into the same one. So if you still have to trade with another player to get the other legendary in your game.
Oh.
And you don't steal, Coma. Nebby chooses to go with you. Lily doesn't own Nebby. They're friends. So Nebby chooses to go with you because Lily isn't a trainer. She has no interest in doing Pokemon battles. I think she becomes a Pokemon researcher. I'm not sure. Or no, she does become a trainer, but like she starts out on a new journey herself at the end. So Nebby chooses to go with you, and then the one that you get from the other dimension is not that dimension's Nebby. It's a different Cosmog that you find. I think you find an egg. I'm not sure. Probably not an egg. You probably just find the Cosmog.
So that was on... So, okay. How do you say it?
Solgaleo?
I would say Solgaleo. I need help. Okay, I put C, the inferior mascot, sad face, too many dog type mascot.
He's a lion.
I knew that.
He's got the mane and everything.
I'm bad at looking at stuff. I'm bad at seeing. I had Moon. Never even made it to the end game. I did order Ultra Sun, so I'm gonna get a Solgaleo. So I think C, because I've never really encountered this Pokemon, and I definitely didn't think it was a dog until just now.
Lunala, the design itself, I'm not as big a fan of. Just because it's a bat, and we have enough bats in the game. Of course, we have enough lions in the game too, but I like lions more than bats. I don't dislike the design. This would certainly still be an A regardless, but it's also definitely an A because Nebby evolves into Lunala in Moon version. But it's just not quite S tier for me.
Yeah, I put it at C plus because I said it's the less inferior mascot. I think I literally just like the color palette of this one better. But I didn't make it to endgame in Moon, so can't really talk.
Nihilego. The lore behind Ultra Beast and their possible connection to legendaries fascinates me. I love the multiverse thing Pokemon dabbled with in Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Yeah. I like the lore behind Ultra Beasts, but I'm changing this from a B to a C because I don't actually really like this design all that much.
Oh no.
I love the lore behind Ultra Beasts, but the designs of most of the Ultra Beasts I'm just not that into.
So, I don't know how to rate these because I never played Ultra Sun Moon. They're not in Moon, and they're not in Sun Moon, and they're not in any other game, right?
Some of them are in Sun and Moon. Ultra Sun and Moon have more.
Oh no, I'm such
But their end game, you've completed the story, beaten the Elite Four, become the champion. It's a post game thing where you encounter Nihilego during the course of the story, but the other ones you encounter afterwards.
Okay. Should I rate these solely on what I think of the design then?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This one looks like Lily's mom is a jellyfish. I don't understand how it's rock poison. I'll go C+.
Buzzwole is a D because it's extremely gross. All those muscles, those are sacs filled with fluid. Those are sacs filled with blood because it's a mosquito. It's not actually buff, it's just eaten recently. Also, it's fighting type anyway. I don't like it. It's a D.
Can the sacs pop? Should I even ask that?
I don't think they can.
Oh.
And I guess they might.
I feel better about it.
They might less be sacs than just like clear containers. It's possible they don't actually swell up; they just fill up. But it's still gross.
No, I agree with you there. I'm gonna go C-. Yeah, C-. Don't like this one.
Pheromosa also gets a D. I don't like anything about this design. There's not a thing about it that I like.
I have to give it I'll say B -. Because I think for the style challenge, there was Bug as one of them. Most people did Caterpie, or no, Butterfree. I picked this one to be, Nerdga. So I do have to give it B -, but like I'm not super fond of the design. It's like too. If I had to look at it, I would not guess fighting. I would say bug, fairy, and it's not that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like fighting at all. Hey, Insanity. Pokemon sucks. You lie. It's supposed to be a baddie. Yeah, it's technically a bad guy. You have to go capture it to stop it from rampaging. Zerkatree is a B. He's a wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm flailing tube man, and I like that. He's just a weird Pokemon, but in a fun way. So I give him a B.
Is it bipedal?
He's got 3 legs.
I'm gonna go with C just because I don't know. I need more time to process this.
It's not what baddie means, Flair. Then I do not know what baddie means in that context. One of those inflatable tube men that became violent. Wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm flailing tube man. Wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm flailing tube man. Celesteela. It gets a C. I don't know. I'm just not interested in this design. The weird, stiff, floating arms don't interest me. I don't like this like weird stick in the middle. I don't know. Not great.
I'm gonna say B, just a regular I'll say B. The arms look like bamboo shoots, which they're not. And then I like the color palette, like the gray, teal, green. Otherwise, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Kartana is hilarious and gets an A. It's literally made of paper, but it's a swordsman, like a samurai. Its arms are swords. It's a little origami swordsman, and I find that hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B as well. I like that it's grass steel. I like the design. I don't like the colors. The yellow, I don't even know, paper sticking out looks a bit like noodles, which I appreciate, but it's not noodles.
I also just realized it's the drawn sword Pokemon because it's made of paper, so someone drew it. If it wasn't an A already, I would definitely make it an A for that. Giving paper cuts a whole new meaning. Yep. Guzzlord, I did not do a link to this. Guzzlord is an A, not for his design. I think his design is a little ridiculous and over the top. But in the anime, normally when Pokemon are roaring or whatever, it's like a really dramatic roar, or it's a person saying the Pokemon's name, or trying to imitate a dramatic roar, or it is like an animal roar or something. Guzzlord's roar is literally just a man screaming. Just a man going, ah! Like it's so doesn't fit the like. I'm actually gonna let me pull this up. Guzzlord scream. Yeah, Guzzlord screaming compilation. Wait, that's... Yeah, it's just a guy going... It's just a guy yelling. I love that so much. And he's really huge. He's 18 feet tall, and it just sounds like a guy yelling when it roars.
18?
Yeah, he's big.
What? I based on that and just the design itself, this seems like a giant shitpost. Literally, ha ha ha. B plus.
Necrozma, I give a C. Apparently in Ultra Sun and Moon, Necrozma gets a lot more story and like gets different forms, and you get to see like it merges with Solgaleo, it merges with Lunala, and then it has its own like standalone form of what it's supposed to look like. Apparently the lore behind Necrozma is it's a prism Pokemon that used to emit light, but it got cracked and broken, and now it absorbs light instead, and that's why it's all dark. And I don't know, it's a cool idea, but it wasn't explored at all in regular Sun and Moon, and I don't know how it's explored in Ultra Sun and Moon, and I don't particularly like his design in general, so he gets a C for me.
If I'm understanding you correctly, it is in Sun Moon. It is, and by extension, also in Ultra Sun Moon, possibly more fleshed out, but we don't know.
Yeah, it plays a bigger role in Ultra Sun and Moon. I'm just not sure how much. In Sun and Moon, literally, you just, after you've beaten the game and caught all the Ultra Beasts, you hear word of a legendary Pokemon buried beneath the island, and then you go there and you fight and capture Necrozma, and that's it. But in Ultra Sun and Moon, it apparently like takes over Solgaleo or Lunala, and you have to fight it in those forms. And then I think you also have to fight it in its radiant form or whatever. Still not really explored. It's a cool idea if they like did anything with it, but it sounds like they didn't really.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking at. C? Question mark.
Magearna, I give an A plus. I think it's a really really cute design. Um, I like that it's a little clockwork doll Pokemon. Is Steel Fairy. I don't know. I just think it's really cute. I like its design a lot.
I always get confused with Diancie. Is there's a resemblance, right? Or am I going
Yes, yeah, I
crazy?
also get them confused sometimes.
Okay, good. Whew. Um, if that's the case, this one is the superior twin. So C, half a plus.
Marshadow, I give it a B. I'm not super into its design, although I did receive one in a Wonder Trade once, and I don't know if someone accidentally Wonder Traded it or if it's like a hacked Pokemon or something. But it wasn't released in the U.S. at that point, as far as I know, and I got it in Wonder Trade, so I have a Japanese Marshadow.
Or accidental. That's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
really, really bad if someone did that on accident.
uh, is this a mythical?
Yes. Yeah, it's a mythical.
Okay. And it's at you said at the time it wasn't in the US, but now it is? Or
I
it
I don't
was at some point?
I don't know if it was in the U.S. at the time. I don't think it was. I don't know for sure. It
Okay.
certainly has been released somewhere in the U.S. by now.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think about this. What is ability technician? Like it looks like fire clouds. I don't how is it gonna repair your car?
I believe Technician is an ability that causes low power moves to hit harder. Yeah, any moves that
Oh.
have a power of 60 or less get their damage boosted by 50%. So it turns weaker attacks like 60 power moves into 90 power moves, which are some of the strongest attacks in the game. It means oh, it means that you can use what would normally be fairly weak moves and still do a ton of damage. Scyther can
Cool.
have this
Okay.
ability too. Its typing is dumb. It's Fighting Ghost. That is a weird type, but and I don't know if there's some kind of like real life myth that it's based on or what. I don't really know why it's Fighting Ghost.
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of this one. See, take it or leave it. Take it in a wonder trade, leave it otherwise.
Um, this one is Poiple. He's a Poiple Pokemon. It's a C. I think it's a dumb design, but I like that its name is purple with an accent.
I've literally never seen this before. Is this another mythical?
This is not actually a mythical or a legendary, but it is an ultra beast that is not legendary, and you get one in Sun and Moon. You get an egg that's handed to you, and it hatches into this in Sun and Moon.
Based on the design alone, I'm gonna say D plus. I don't like it.
Um, Whoops, keep clicking the wrong thing. Naganadel, Naganadel. It's a needle Pokemon. Um, I gave this one a D. I just don't really like its design. It's a giant hypodermic needle, and I don't like that it's ramming people with its butt.
um, yeah, I don't. I see the needle obviously, but with the bulb, it looks like a turkey baster. So I don't like that either. D. I don't know why it's part dragon type. Just terrifying in a bad way. because it's pretty big, right? So like if you saw that coming towards you, you would
Oh my
run for your life.
god, it's 11 feet tall.
Yes.
Yeah,
You would run for your
it's
life.
very big. This is Stakataka, which I find humorous, and it gets a B. This is one of the Ultra Beasts that only appears in Ultra Sun and Moon.
Oh, okay.
The Mosquito would love that Pokemon, probably. It's a giant Pokemon made up of smaller Pokemon, which I generally like, so that's what gives it a B. But it's not a particularly interesting Pokemon otherwise.
Yeah, I put terrifying in a good way. Good is almost too generous, but like, it's not. Maybe I should say terrifying in a not gross way. You'd still be scared if you saw this coming towards you.
Absolutely.
So I'll say C plus.
This one is a clown, Blacephalon. Its head explodes, and not in the Pokemon explosion way, but like actually explodes and then reforms. It's creepy. I don't like the poses it does. It's a clown, which is also bad. It's a D. Don't like.
I have to give this one. What did I give the other ones that I said? B half a minus. Yeah, I'll stick with that. B half a minus because again, Fire Challenge, Fire type. I think you helped me find this one. It was a Fire type and it wasn't orange red because I don't have any clothes that are orange red. So really appreciated this one.
And then finally, Zerora. I know nothing about this guy. He is a mythical Pokemon from Ultra Sun and Moon, and I know nothing about him except that he's electric type and looks like this. I gave him a D because I'm just not interested in him at all.
You said it is mythic?
Yeah.
Mythical?
Yeah, it's mythical.
Okay. Yeah, I put D question mark. I don't know that I've seen this before. This one is a dog, right?
I don't know.
Well, at least you're not going to tell me it's a lion.
It is not a lion, I think.
Yeah, I put D question mark. It was in the Pokemon bot on Discord for a while, but beyond that, I know nothing about it. Oh, and I'm also gonna do a little insert here. This is gonna be the last one I write because I feel like you have some strong opinions on the next two. Never seen the next two, so take it away, Flair.
Oh. I forgot about these. So Meltan is a dumpster fire. Meltan and its evolution Melmetal are both quadruple F minuses for me because they, to me, are not actually real Pokemon. They are a cash grab that Pokemon Go created in order to get people playing the game and paying money in the game. They do not naturally appear in any Pokemon game. They are not from any particular generation. They're not even technically from Gen 7. They're just from Pokemon Go. And they're stupid. It's literally a gray Ditto with a nut on its head and a wire sticking out of its back, which they did on purpose because when they were introduced in Pokemon Go, they just one day they started appearing everywhere, but every time you caught one, it turned into a Ditto. Like, it was so obviously a blatant cash grab to try and get people playing the game more. And it was so lame that they created a Pokemon and put zero effort into it, which is typical for Pokemon Go. So I hate this guy and his evolution Melmetal. I hate them both on principle. I wish they did not exist. These are the Pokemon that I hate most across the entire franchise. And more than anything, I would pay Nintendo money for them to retcon these Pokemon out of existence.
Me, I didn't quite follow. I didn't quite follow what you were saying in that you said when you catch Meltan, it turns into a Ditto. So how do you get a Meltan proper to evolve it into Metal?
Uh, they eventually put them in raids, and you would catch them in raids.
Oh, I dislike that even more.
Yeah. At least I'm pretty sure it was a raid. It might have been an egg or something. Everyone ended up having the chance to get a Meltan, but it wasn't through catching Dittos in the wild. And that was a really shitty way to do the event. Here, look at this new Pokemon that you can't actually have because none of them are real.
I'd be so pissed. I definitely stopped playing by then. I would be so irritated because like I actually played for catching the Pokemon because I was too weak to do any gym battles or raids. So I would just like want to catch everything, and the fact that you couldn't actually catch this, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, Meltan's introduction was one of the last straws that led me to quit the game.
Oh no!
It was just. And Melmetal looks very stupid, and then it's got a Gigantamax form that is very boring and bland. Like, just nothing about these Pokemon was well done at all.
And on that note,
That's the end of Gen 7. We ended Gen 7 two Pokemon ago, but we had to do these two because they're in the list.
touche. Yeah. Okay, so I think I did not give out any S tiers. It looks like you did.
I gave out
Couple,
several
right?
S tiers, yeah. There's a lot of Pokemon in this gen that I really like.
Oh dang. Okay.
This gen was the first gen where I actually had trouble figuring out which Pokemon I wanted to use for my team of 6 because there were more than 6 Pokemon that I wanted to use in the game.
Oh, for real? Where did you land? Like, what was your team as of the last time you played, if you remember?
I had Tapu Fini and Solgaleo, Zygarde, so I had 3 legendaries, which I have never used 3 legendaries before.
Oh dang.
Then I had uh, Decidueye, Vikavolt, and Mudsdale, I believe, as my team.
Okay.
Alolan Muck killed everything, so you never needed to change.
What?
Also started loving Magnemite in this gen. I like Magnemite from the original games. I liked it originally. It and Magneton were two of my favorites for a while. So that meant I used it a lot, so I don't really use it much anymore, just because I've already used it a bunch.
Next gen is gonna be the last one. Are you okay with September 19th?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that should work.
And then did we decide so October is gonna be the first tier stream that's not gonna be Pokemon. Did we decide what that's gonna be, or should we save it as a save it as a surprise?
Let's save it as a surprise. We'll figure it out and either announce it at the end of the next stream or just be like, hey, we're doing a tier stream. Be there and figure out what we're
Surprise.
rating.
Awesome. TY.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, and thanks for doing the rating stream, Michio.
Until next one, the final gen return of the S tiers on my end at least.
Yes. All right. See you later. I am going to end the stream here, so thanks everyone for hanging out, and have a good day.